So, as many of you know, I've spent a majority of my time playing games, playing action games, FPSs, etc. I started with Battlefield 1942 way back in the day. At some point, I pivoted to Overwatch.
I am my mother's daughter!
And then I went to Destiny, and then I went to Siege. And you get the idea. I have a lot of hours in FPSs. I play a lot of shooters. Occasionally, if my friends want to do something and they make a good enough argument, I'll play what they want to play. But there's been one game in particular lately that has grabbed my attention. I mean, just absolutely gripped me. And the question is, what kind of game that isn't any of these could grab my attention so fast and so efficiently that I have worked on getting every single achievement and clocked over 80 hours of playtime in the last less than 2 months? I have wanted to make a video singing Unbeatable's praises since I finished the story with Harvey on stream last month, but I wanted to wait until I got every single achievement before I did that. I wanted the full experience, and now that I've gotten the last achievement that I need, I can finally make this video confidently and tell you why Unbeatable is a phenomenal fucking game. So, the gameplay in Unbeatable is pretty simple. It's a 2-lane rhythm game. Even if it looks like there's 4 lanes, there's exactly 2 lanes, top and bottom. If the notes are coming from the right, top and bottom. If the notes are coming from the left, top and bottom. It's literally just top and bottom, and you'll automatically hit whichever side you need to hit at the time. Which is nice, because just looking at it without knowing that, it looks complicated as fuck. There's a few, tiny rhythm games over the course of the story, like skating, sorta, and graffiti and baseball, but they are not important here. If you don't really care about the story, there's an arcade mode you can do, which just has, the rhythm game gameplay. It has full leaderboards and modifiers and everything. And then, doing the story itself will get you more songs and everything that you can use in arcade mode. Or there's just a code you can put in the main menu that'll just give you everything, which of course is also spoilers, but if you're doing that, you probably don't care about spoilers anyway. Yeah, there's not much to say about the gameplay. The gameplay's fun. It's a 2-lane rhythm game. Nothing fancy about that. There's taps, there's holds, there's doubles sometimes, there's spikes. There's ones that you can mash, which mashing realistically doesn't do anything. I just hit them once and that's it. They're done. Everything sounds real punchy, which I really like. It actually feels like you're hitting the notes instead of just some weird arbitrary UI sound, like a ding or a beep or some shit. There's not much I can say about the story because I want you to experience it for yourself. I don't want to say a word. I just want you to experience it for yourself and just see everything the game has as far as the story goes. Especially if you're a creative in any way, if you're a musician, artist, game dev, whatever kind of creative you are, the story is going to resonate with you real fucking hard. Leave you sitting there thinking way too hard about your own creative endeavors kind of hitting hard. Even outside of major story beats, though, the writing for the story is phenomenal. Every character in the story is just so insanely well written. I wanted to spend more time with everyone, and I'm mad that we didn't get more time with everyone. It was still fitting for the story, but if D-Cell made an actual slice of life spinoff where you got years upon years with every character, I would play the living fuck out of that. I'd play it for every single line of dialogue and every interaction you get between all the characters.
Hey, guy. Eat shit.
I do genuinely love every character we were given. Even if I hated them in a good way, that they were well written and well done.
Nobody will care what happened to you by tomorrow night's news. You're irrelevant.
The only characters I can think of that really weren't well written were the characters that were maybe one-off jokes or not supposed to be well written. There's a child that you play jump rope with, sorta, And her whole character's that she likes jump rope, and she's at that age. Still don't know what the fuck at that age means. The game's visuals are a testament to the fact that you don't need high fidelity for a game to look good. You just need a style that people are going to remember after they stop playing the game. Like, they can look at it from like a mile away and go, oh yeah, that's unbeatable. Psychonauts has that. Double Fine has that very distinct style to them. Banjo-Kazooie, everyone remembers what that game looks like, and even to a degree what the game sounds like when a character talks. All the characters being in 2D, on top of having great designs, gives them this little bit extra bit of life that just can't be emulated fully with 3D. Like, I think going 2D for the characters is an insanely strong decision on their part, and the environments being 3D and honestly a little simple, some people don't like that. I fucking love it. Like, you still know the environment you're in. It's not like they're just empty and blank, but anything that you do need to put some attention to, there's a little bit more detail on. And if you don't need to pay attention to something, you know, there's not much detail. Like, Unbeatable has a very distinct style that isn't a hindrance to the player in any way. It's not insanely high fidelity, but I would much rather Unbeatable's visual style than, like, Call of Duty or military shooter number 5 with washed out colors. And, you know, it's a rhythm game. Rhythm games are about music. We have to talk about the music. Here's the thing. Going into it, I'm a very big metal and alt-rock kind of person. I listen to Five Finger Death Punch, Stone Sour, Slipknot, you know, all of those. I didn't expect there to be that many songs I would enjoy looking at the game, you know, from a distance. There were a lot of songs I actually personally enjoyed. Like, I listened to them outside of the game. I just listened to them during the day. Like, Bookend song, Proper Rhythm, Cop Trauma. And there were some that grew on me as I ended up playing them in-game or even doing their charts in the arcade, just because they're so much fun. And the charts actually elevate the best parts of those songs. Bang, Do No Harm, and DIALTONE are the biggest examples of those for me. And there's a bunch more that I really enjoy that I can't talk about because they are part of the story. Like, I'm talking episode 4, episode 5 kind of songs. And, you know, if the songs are that good and you need to listen to them out of the game like I did, D-Cell does have a Bandcamp where they have all 118 songs from the OST and 27 from the album, all available. Obviously, they're not going to have, like, the collab songs, but anything that's an Unbeatable, you know, original, it's in there. And it's so fucking worth it. And with all of this praise, it sounds like I'm calling Unbeatable a perfect game, and I want to emphasize, it's not a perfect game. There are still things I thought were wrong with it. A lot of these are very personal, sort of what I would have done, you know, armchair game dev kind of shit, but there are things I would have liked to see, and to a degree I can understand why they weren't a thing already, but they are complaints that I had. The biggest one for me is that I wish there was more sort of attention to side plots and tiny things going on, and maybe even more achievements to push the player towards them. Because there's achievements for some of them. Rope Burn is connected to the jump rope girl I mentioned earlier. I Know What Kind of Person You Are, Dead Ball. There's a bunch of achievements for doing just optional shit. Like, there's one for putting up posters during episode 3. But then there are things that you would think have an achievement attached, and there just isn't, even if it feels like there should be. There's a whole sort of side plot line where you're taking photos with Quaver. And they're sort of connected to the achievement for getting collectibles, but there's no real achievement for getting all the photos done. Or there's one side plot that you can actually lock yourself out of. It's a little annoying to activate, and it involves you stealing an arcade cabinet and bringing it back. And there's no achievement or anything for it. There's not even a collectible, so it's not associated with the collectibles achievement. Just, it would have been nice if there were more achievements for doing more of the optional things. Like, not so much, hey, here's a challenging thing, here's an achievement for it, as much as just, hey, there's other things you haven't done. And here's something to kind of nudge you in that direction. Otherwise, if you do find them, it's otherwise on accident, or in my case, you have someone who played the game already sort of over your shoulder telling you what to do to activate that thing.
You can't enter it at dusk. You have to be in it as it progresses.
I will say, though,
You can go get the other
whoever had the idea of tying an achievement to the brick-breaking minigame, or the totally disjointed, totally not Dance Dance Revolution, the two achievements that caused me so much pain for so long, you are a monster, and the pain you've caused me can never truly be described. And I sincerely hope the next time you order something at a restaurant, they overcook it just a little bit. Just a little. Not enough that you won't eat it, but just enough that you're like, fuck, I wish they made it the right way. Another thing that really bothered me, more so in some areas than others, is how inconsistent the voice acting is. Not in quality as much as just when and where it happens. Because the voice acting across the board was great. Every voice actor I loved. There were no voices I particularly hated or even disliked in any way.
They'll come sprinting in seconds if they so much as hear a bird sing. Do cops go after
When
birds?
you have two people on stream reading lines back and forth, you sort of notice where there's voices and where there aren't.
This one tonight's for rich people. Yeah, but for real?
Like, one big example that comes to mind is at the very start of episode 2, there's two cops talking, where one of them has vocals and one of them doesn't.
Yes. Wow.
And obviously, I don't know what goes on behind the scenes when it comes to decel and everything. It could have been a budget thing. It could have been like, we recorded these lines and then we added more lines after. I don't know what the situation is there. I'm not going to pretend to be the be-all, know-all, etc. That's just something that sort of bothered me as I was playing through it. Just because if you had the voice acting and suddenly it stopped, it would sort of cut out your immersion, like hard stop.
I don't know how to take that.
Can you do this with all our songs? Trev, how do you feel about this?
But I don't really have anything to say about Unbeatable that would make me not want to call it a great game. It's a great fucking game. I'm not saying Unbeatable is a perfect game. It's far from perfect. But there's so much care and love that went into the game that you can feel as you are playing it. This is a passion project by people who are passionate about the project. Like, it's not one guy's passion project and a bunch of contractors. You can feel that everyone who worked on this game absolutely loved what they were working on and wanted to make something that the player would love too. And for the love and care that went into this game, I want to give a huge thanks to everyone at Decel who worked on Unbeatable, because Unbeatable is undoubtedly the best game I have played all year. I'm talking like since last April, kind of all year. I highly urge everyone to at least give Unbeatable a shot. There is a demo just for free on Steam. It's a little under $30 on Steam for the main game, or $35 for the Breakout Edition, which is what I got, and I don't regret it at all. You're paying under $30 for a full start-to-finish product that is done. The game is done. The story is done. You get a full story with writing and characters, and you don't need to buy DLC to fill in the holes. And it's still being updated too. There have been 5 new songs added to the arcade in the last 2 months. There's a whole roadmap of things they want to put out for the game in the next few months. There's things that they've teased. They've even said they're adding free songs every month. Do No Harm just got added 2 weeks ago on April Fool's Day, just ahead of the DLC that's coming up. Like I said before, I want to give a massive fucking thanks to Decel. Everyone who worked on Unbeatable, you made something fucking incredible. And thank you, the viewer, for, watching this thing until the end. And, if you pick up Unbeatable, I'm just saying, you're not going to regret it. If I didn't think this game was absolutely worth the fucking money, I would not have made this fucking video singing its praises.
Staring at a mirror of myself.